Happy Sunday, and welcome everyone to episode 53 of Video Game Club. As always, I am your host, Tyler, and I have with me today the protector of the Evertree, Austin.
Hello.
Hello, Austin. And it would not be a Video Game Club episode without Miss Mother Nature herself, Mox.
Oh, thank you. Hello.
Hello. How is everyone doing?
Good.
Good. It's been a while. It's been, what,
Yes.
4 weeks?
Oh, goodness.
Been on some vacations.
This has been a long 4 weeks.
Austin's been beating games left and right.
How
I
many
have.
Yakuza games? 1, 2?
I have started Yakuza 5 at this point.
Really?
Mm,
Yeah.
Nice.
you were
So
still
I
savoring
don't think
it.
I'm going to get through 5 and 6 before it comes time, but I will probably beat 5.
Nice. Potential, I guess, spoilers for Zero. Yakuza 0. But I just did the mission with the Michael Jackson where you fight the zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. What fever dream are you guys sharing?
Basically, it's like a Michael Jackson lookalike who dances from, like, he's filming a music video and he dances from one side of the street to the other. Like, one block, basically, but it's like a long block.
I forget his name, but it's like Mitchell Johnson or something like that.
Oh,
Magic, I think.
well, that's a...
That's a real
Yeah.
person.
yeah,
I know,
okay.
but I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it was just ridiculous, and it reminded me of the Yakuza zombie game that you were talking about. I wonder if he makes a return. But he was speaking English, which was kind of funny.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I hope you do all the side missions in that one, because there's just a lot of really great ones in there.
I've been trying really hard not to skip any of them.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Mox, what have you been playing besides Grow?
I beat Stray.
Oh, really?
Took a lot in me not to sob, but it was excellent.
I heard that game is great. It's wonderful, but I heard
Mhm.
that it could be more cat like. Would you agree? Like that it could be more like jumping, for example, I heard was not very, like, you'd only jump in like certain sections or something like that.
I don't know that I agree with that. And I am like, it isn't a spoiler. I mean, so you're like a human being. I'm a human being in real life playing a cat in the game. And this robot translates robot speak to English, but the cat doesn't speak English.
Right.
And anyway, so it's like, how does this cat do these puzzles? I was waiting for there to be some like grand explanation. There's like some meta thing that I, the player, am involved in the game somehow. No, there's nothing. The cat just knows things that the player does, and that's just, there's nothing deeper than that, which I guess is okay.
It's a Annapurna published game, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. I've heard good things though, despite
It was
that,
very
like,
cute.
Yeah.
You get to be a cat. You're just a cat. And a human being controls the cat, and you can make the cat do cat things as well.
And you
as
love cats.
puzzles. Well, who doesn't?
Several people. Austin, what have you been playing besides Grow?
So I finished Emily is Away 3, which I did not like.
I didn't know there were more than just the one.
Yeah, the first one was free, the second one was like a full released game, and then the third one came out within the last year or two, couple of years. That one leaves AIM behind, and it's like a Facebook style. Kind of interesting. I liked it up to a point, but then I did not like the ending at all.
Aw.
I played through the Henry Stickmin collection.
Well,
That I saw that's rated really high on Steam, and you mentioned that it's a great game for deck.
Yeah, I played it all on Steam Deck, and it's very silly, and I had a fun time with it. It's like something you can just kind of sit back and chill and play. There's like multiple paths to victory, but it's you're all the time you're just making choices, and so there's like achievements for finding all the failures. So there's actually incentive to go back and like try all the choices out, because a lot of them result in very silly things. But I also finished Ghostwire Tokyo. So
nice.
Woohoo, made it through that. I thought I had done all the side quests, and apparently there are some that require you to like fully complete certain other things to unlock new side quests, and I just decided I wasn't going to go for those. But I had fun with what I played.
Is it after the end game sequence, or you can do them all before?
You can do them all before.
Okay.
Yeah. Currently I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm in Chapter 11 of that. Yakuza 5. I'm still I think I'm in Chapter 2 of that. And Zone of the Enders is the second runner.
Oh, wow. Lots of games.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed.
I'm slowly making my way through Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm about 21 hours in. I just finished all the side quests that are available to me, and I did also the last gate that I could possibly do as well today. Man, Hide and Seek 3. Did you do that quest, Austin?
Yes, I did.
That was really beautiful to go in that forest and everything. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game, the side quests are just they just add so much, and they're not just like, hey, do this. I mean, there's a few that are like that, like, oh, clear out some bad guys here, but usually they tell really interesting stories, almost all of them.
And they don't feel like a template.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like someone put some real thought into them. I also started Final Fantasy VII Remake. Never played I played the first like 2 hours of the first game, but not much further than that. And that game is really good. It's a really good video game. It's really fun. I really like it so far. And then I've been playing No More Heroes 2. I just got ranked 25, I think. I'm like, I did like some spooky section, but that game is really weird. It's really different from the first one. Like, there's no open world, and it kind of, I don't know. I wish there was.
Yeah.
Is it less blah?
It's there's blood. By blood, do you mean like filler?
I don't know. I didn't like that. Didn't we play the first one?
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
I think Mox's blood is like the
quote unquote
the stuff that you couldn't
humor.
really put into a game today and get away with it.
Yeah, it has a lot of that. It's very I'll just say like overly sexualized, basically.
Ugh.
Some of the parts of it are. But I think, I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, before we get started talking about Grow, Song of the Evertree, just a reminder, this is Video Game Club, where usually every 2 weeks, we discuss a game voted on by our wonderful friends in the Bombchu Discord and discuss that game right here on twitch.tv/BombchuTV. If you can't catch us live, don't worry. You can find us on YouTube, all major podcast services. And if you appreciate what you're hearing, please let us know. Consider doing all those things like subscribing, rating, especially commenting, because we love reading your comments. I think someone corrected me last episode where I thought Jedi Fallen Order came out some year and it was a different year. So I need that sheet. I need that sheet of every game every year.
And you didn't learn.
I was there to tell you. You didn't listen to me.
I still don't have it. One day. The nominations for this episode were 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Grow, Song of the Evertree, and Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Sharp. Hashtag, whatever.
It's sharp.
Pound. No, I know it's sharp.
F-E.
Sharp FE Encore. Now let's talk about Grow, Song of the Evertree, an open world-ish management simulation game.
Wow.
How would you describe it?
I don't know, but that's like only part of it somehow. All of those like very vague words.
It's a very big mishmash of a lot of
Stuff.
buzzwords.
This game doesn't have a Wikipedia page, by the way, which usually makes prepping the notes pretty easy for the most part. It also doesn't have... It has a wiki, but it's not very like filled out either. So I got to do a bunch of research on my own, which was really interesting. This game was developed by Prideful Sloth. They were formed in 2015, based in Australia, and they previously made... This is their second game. They previously made Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles. Has anyone played that?
No.
I've played it, and It's pretty. It's. I think you would really like it, Mox. Actually, it's kind of similar to this in some ways. It has no combat. It's just a lot of like exploring
Love it.
and doing tasks or quests for the people. I don't remember too much about it besides it was just really pretty and just really relaxing. But yeah, recommend. I think it's on almost everything. This game was published by 505 Games, founded in 2006, based in Italy. They're a really big publisher. They've done Payday 2, Sniper Elite 3, Abzu, Control, Death Stranding on PC, many others. It was released on the 16th of November, 2021 on all the major platforms, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Switch. 2001 in gaming.
2021.
I was
21.
like, oh my god, what?
Sorry, 2021. Sorry. 2021 in gaming. We had the Switch OLED, the Analog Pocket, the Atari VCS, the Evercade VS, the Steam Deck, and the Playdate were supposed to launch, but they got delayed. Came in 2022. Software we had Yakuza Like a Dragon, Resident Evil Village, Returnal, Skyward Sword HD, Far Cry 6, many more. A few games that we have played already for Video Game Club, I hope, if I looked at the dates correctly. Any guesses?
Death's Door.
Death's Door, yep. Mm-hmm.
What else did we play from last year?
One of them...
How many games?
There's two more.
Two more? Okay. Oh.
One of them is one of them is 2D, and it was on Switch.
What about the card game that we played?
Yep, that's one. Inscription.
No, Inscription. I loved that one.
I know, me
nice,
too.
Yeah.
So one more.
2D, and it's on the Switch. It's only on the Switch? Oh, Metroid Dread.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And
Wow.
Metroid Dread.
Those are very different games.
They are very different games. They're all kind of dark. Like, have a dark theme to them as well.
Yeah.
From what I could tell from reviews, it was generally positive, like 7s and 8s. People really liked the visuals, the music. They liked that it was very relaxing and simple. But some people didn't appreciate the simpleness of the game and also thought it was really repetitive. And from what I could find, they didn't release anything on sales yet. Let's talk about the gameplay of this game. This is a game that has a big loop in it, a big gameplay loop. And it has a bunch of other stuff that was just thrown in. Austin, I know you chatted a bit about this whenever we were just discussing. Was this game on Kickstarter, from what you could tell?
So when I went to go look it up, it was not. But I did go check because a lot of the systems in this game feel like they were part of like a checklist of of a sales pitch of like, hey, come back our game. It's inspired by all your favorite farming games and casual games, and we've got this feature and this feature and this feature and this feature. But no, as far as I could tell, it was not a Kickstarter game. This was just planned like this from the start.
And you did find didn't you find a section of the game where you thought maybe that? Yeah,
there's a little. After talking about it with Mox, it sounds like it might have just been an Easter egg and like a joke. But I found like a little in development area.
I thought it was
made me think that it was like going to be something new that came later, or maybe they have a DLC planned or something like that. But if it's a joke, it was kind of a bad one, and if it's something coming later, then I guess there's still more in development.
Yeah,
but I couldn't find any announcement or like actual information about what was going on in that spot.
So, Mox, I feel like you're the closest one to this game, but let me just describe the gameplay loop. I know there's a bunch of extra stuff. I'll touch on that, but this is the loop that I experienced, or that I think is in this game. You start by planting a seed in the tree. There's a big tree, and your job is to restore this world, and we'll get to the story later. But you plant this seed. You clean up the area that this seed produces, it almost germinates, I guess. And as it germinates, there's things that need cleaned up where you planted that seed. You use those resources found in that area that you planted the seed to upgrade a little village. It's separated into districts, but you use it to upgrade the district. So you can build houses or decorate or other things like that.
Businesses where they can work.
Businesses. you complete challenges in the town, and after you do some of those, and this is the part that's a little blurry for me. It was hard for me to remember. Did you get the song piece from after you did those challenges, or did that unlock a dungeon for you to go into and get a song piece?
So whenever you get a district, like whenever you open up a district, it clears out some of the whatever, like
withering.
Yeah, the withering. It clears some of that out in the surrounding area where you can go and explore, and the song pieces you're able to go get it from the surrounding area before you complete the town area.
Oh, okay.
It's unlocking a new district that gives you access to the next song piece.
Okay.
But once you finish out the area, like somebody will show up in the middle to give you a hint on where it is.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that song piece, you put that in this like temple or whatever, and then you just rinse and repeat for the most part. Does that sound about right, Mox, from your experience? I know there's a lot of other things.
Technically, it started with you getting the fragment from the Everkin, and then that started the seed and so on.
Yeah.
Like with the place, yes, that is it.
But then there's a lot of other things like customizing villagers, customizing towns, farming, fishing, mining, exploring caves, picking fruit, picking flowers, picking berries, hugging animals so that they love you, events, romance options, just a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to, whenever I give my little review of this game, I'll dive more into this, but it's a lot of things that don't necessarily need to be there, and
on a day-night cycle.
Yeah, and it's all on a day-night cycle. And go ahead, Austin.
A lot of stuff that you may not want to do is required. Like they are tied into each other in a way that's like not fun, but makes them needed.
And some things that you may want to do aren't really needed as well.
Yeah.
Some of it's just like, why can you customize your villager? Why can you give them like stuff to wear?
Because that's part of like little quests.
Yeah, but it's not. It just doesn't seem that important. Like the quests they don't give you anyway. That's the game in a nutshell, though. Is there anything you guys wanted to talk about the gameplay specifically before we move on to visuals?
I played it on my Switch. It loaded so slowly, and it doesn't have a map, and so in order to like see where you are, you don't know where your orientation is. By the way, you have to like zoom out to the fast travel screen,
which is a map,
which takes forever to load up on my little dinky Switch. And then I I want to go that direction, and I have to look at there's a little dot of green there, and I want to go in this kind of like direction, and there's brown in the way that I don't want to go. So then I unzoom out, and that takes another 30-second loading screen. And then it was green. I want to go towards green. There's green in that direction and that direction. I can't remember which way I wanted to go. Let me zoom out one more time. I'm gonna take a picture with my phone, so this way I know what the map looks like when I zoom back in. Oh my God, I was so upset.
Girl, we got to get you a Steam Deck. It helps. Yeah, I have some performance stuff that we'll talk about when we get there as well. The visuals, though, I mean, the game is really pretty. It's very it's got a lot of soft edges. It's particles. Yep, a lot of particles. It's got a lot of vegetation, and I felt like the grass was really nice, really good grass. I don't know. It looks nice. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, I don't know. It's got like the only game that I can really think of that comes to mind right now is like Portal Knights, which I guess was kind of popular.
I can see that.
But
this game is a marketer's dream.
Really? What makes you say that?
It has all the features that you can talk about, and then when just looking at it, it looks very pretty and appealing. Like when you look at screenshots of it, it's like, that's what I'm going to be doing. That looks so fun. That looks really satisfying. So like visually and just a checklist of features you got, this is a marketer's dream.
Gotcha.
Very, very easy to make marketing for this, I think.
Yeah. Mox, would you say this game was like visually? I know you played on Switch specifically, but was it still quite pretty? Did you?
Yeah, it was cute. I did not like walking around the town area at night because you're not allowed to be in the tree at night for some reason. You can only be in the town areas at night. And it is so dark. I don't know why there's just no light that projects anywhere. And then if you get close to the withering, oh my gosh, so many particles and this wind kicks up and it's like I'm trying to walk around and it's like I guess I'm not supposed to be here. All these particles are here. Anyway, it lagged terribly. But it looked cute. I liked the particles.
I never stayed out late because I always thought something bad would get me. I don't know why, so I always went to bed. Always. I was like, oh, I did my tree stuff. I did my town stuff. All right, bed.
No, because it'll tell you the book. Her name is Book. Book will say, hey, better, you got an early start tomorrow. Better get to bed. And then so I'll click, like as soon as she says that, I click up to go to the overworld where time pauses. I go to my alchemy house. I land. It takes forever to load. I'm walking to the house. Immediately it cuts me off and says, hey, you were too late. You stayed out too late. Get back in your house. It's like, how was I supposed to get home? You didn't give me enough time. It was, anyway, sorry.
Jeez. Moving on to the audio. The soundtrack was composed by Kevin Penkin. Does his name sound familiar to you guys?
No.
So he did the soundtrack for Florence. Has anyone played Florence?
No.
It sounds familiar.
I think he also did some he also did some TV shows as well. He did a Star Wars Visions. I think he did an episode of that. He's Australian himself, and his goal was for the soundtrack to be very peaceful and not too overwhelming. And I feel like the music was pretty good, especially, I don't know if you guys let the theme play out, but it's got a young boy singing on it, and it's pretty good.
Like the title screen?
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not.
Oh.
I remember hearing the singing. I cannot, for the life of me, hum any tune from this game off the top of my head.
Actually, yeah, same.
I muted it. It's very repetitive.
I
appreciated it the first time I heard it, but then the 100th, I was like,
Yeah,
no.
the piano part, when you're in the tree, it's very repetitive, yeah.
And in the worlds all have different little themes. The perfect
seeds.
worlds. Mm-hmm. Yes, but when you have a perfect one, they have different themes.
Yeah.
So
I guess we didn't talk about how those seeds are created. You use
gameplay, I guess.
Yeah.
Alchemy.
Gameplay. So you can take items or things that you find, and just in general, whether it be from quests or from exploring the area, and you can is synthesize the right word, Mox?
Well, you break them down.
Break them down.
You can break them down into, there's I want to say 20 different types. One is wet, one is dry, bitter, sweet.
I forget what they're called.
Yeah.
Soft, spiky.
Yeah. And there's seed recipes that you can find, or you can just Google, and they will tell you how to make a perfect seed. And my understanding is that, let's say you make one that's a deserty place, that area, seed area, whatever, will produce more deserty stuff.
It also produces things that you need to make the future seeds. The seeds kind of progress.
Mm-hmm.
So you make the nature one, that's the first one you find, and that gives you enough stuff to make the desert one, and then the desert one kind of gives you the stuff to make the frozen one. Or no, sorry, that makes gross, and then gross to frozen, and then frozen to princess, and I think princess to fungi.
I must have spent my alchemy pieces, whatever we're going to call them, too early or something, because I had to grind at the Everkin.
Essence,
that's what they're called. Yeah. I had to grind at I had to catch a bunch of bugs and sell them to this area called the Everkin area. I forget what it's called. The Wherever? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'd go to the Wherever, and I would have to sell them And I'm going to talk about that in my review because it's very frustrating. Anyway, controls and interface. Did you guys like the controls? Mox?
No.
No.
You like, it's like so Unity. You like float over the ground.
It's
I hate
so
that.
Unity.
It's like painfully and disgustingly. Like if it were 1% more Unity, I think it would explode.
Oh my gosh.
It was just, I hate that. I don't even know what it is. Y maybe is jump. And I've been playing Atelier Sophie, which B is jump. And
the normal button?
Well, I don't know. Like the up button is jump in this game. And then the
bottom
lower button is jump in Sophie. And oh my goodness, it was so hard switching between them. No motor memory developed at all. I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like up being jump is less natural than the down button being jump. Anyway.
I can only think of one other game that I played that had that by default that like sticks out of my memory, and it was The Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Yep.
And I remember thinking it was extremely bizarre at the time. And like, I guess given the way the game works, it's like you really couldn't have put it somewhere else, but it just kind of got stuffed there because that's where it had to go.
Yeah. Because they had to, convert like a PC game to controller, right? I mean, they did that with Morrowind as well, but yeah.
That was painful. I misclicked so many times. And if things are next to each other that you would like to interact with, they all have just like one interaction button. And it is very hard to like rotate your person to interact with a certain thing. And it doesn't, like, no matter how many prompts are on your screen and whichever one you want to interact with, it always does the one you don't want to do.
It always picks wrong.
I had my back turned to something and was like trying to interact with something that was right in front of me, and I would push the button and my character would turn around and like do it with the thing behind me. And it was just like, what? How? And there were times that it would show the prompt and like I'd push the button and nothing would happen. Where it was like, you need to get closer. It's like, then why are you showing me the prompt?
Exactly. And when you use a tool that is not like on something, your character just like waves their arm so pathetically.
My gosh.
And
Instead
it
of
feels
just
very
pulling,
pedantic.
Like they could just pull that tool out,
Instead, they just wiggle their arm.
There's an idea.
Can you imagine not having to pick? Okay. Yeah, oh my gosh.
That would streamline it quite a bit.
So part of cleaning the island is planting seeds, right? And then watering them. That's a big thing that happens. You plant a seed, you water it.
Well, you like pull a weed, plant a seed, water it. But
sure.
Yes.
Why is that all not just one button? And instead you have to be like, spam A or whatever, pull the weed, okay. Get my seed thing out, plant. But that's the only action you can do. Like, you would never, there's no hoe, or there's no like, like other, like you can the only action you can perform on this little thing is plant seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
so I guess if that entire island, like if the whole island gameplay was push this one button on all these different spots, then people would just be like, this is the most basic thing ever.
Yeah.
You literally push one button all over this island.
But it doesn't, like, there's very little choice. So it kind of is like that anyway,
I totally see what you're saying, and I agree. It's just seeing what the complaints would be if it was that way instead.
Well, I don't understand. You don't have to, like, I would have thought you have to take everything out of your hands to pull the weed, but no, you could pull it like any way you want. Why can't we just get rid of the seed tool, which there's so many tools, and then like what you're saying, keep going. Sorry.
No, I wish we should. They imagine if it was an option. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Just like, are you sick of, using right bumper, left bumper to pick the right thing? And it's not like they were on the quick tool bar, like super far away. They're right next to each other, but it's just, and you can rearrange it to have it whatever order you want, but it's just like,
you can't get rid of them. Like if I am in, tree mode planting stuff, I don't really need my fishing pole, but I couldn't figure out how to put it away.
Oh, I didn't know that. I never tried to do that. Interesting. I had a problem where I kept pushing the wrong button to fast travel. Like I got the fast travel and management button mixed a few times. And so I would go up in the air to fast travel when I wanted to manage, and I was very sad because even though the loading wasn't as bad as it is on Switch, it still existed. It still bothered me a bit.
Well, it's a double.
Yeah.
You have to load up and load down.
That's true. The other issue that I had was that the building management interface wasn't as fluid as I feel like it could be. Like there was one part that was like build, there's one part that was like manage, but let's say like you want to invite a new person to your town. You have to first, and you have no houses for them. You have no room. You have to build a house, and then you have to put them in that house by managing it. Why can't that all be like in one kind of menu?
Yeah, and there were lots of ways that it would lock certain menus while you were and controls while you were doing something, so you couldn't like quickly go back to another menu that you wanted to. And it was clunky for sure.
And if you put down a blueprint before it's built, you're not allowed to move it. It's like, why? I want to put it one more pixel that way. You have to wait for it to be built, and then you can move it.
Yeah, that was also kind of frustrating. How did you feel about like the book interface itself, like where you're completing challenges and things like that?
Oh, just pro tip to everybody: before you ever redeem anything from the book, save your game, because
there's only one crash.
I had one.
Well, the game doesn't autosave, as far as I could tell.
It does. I can tell you that because
it's very unforgiving.
It autosaves and it just pauses my game for like 15 seconds while it's saving.
Okay, I guess the autosave is not very frequent then, because I lost a bunch of progress when I went to go redeem some challenges, and it just soft locked. And I told Mox, and she was like, "Yeah, that's just something that can happen."
This game does that.
Yeah. So anytime that you're using the book to go redeem stuff, save your game. But yeah, it felt kind of like the Nook Mile challenges in Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to describe it.
And I like the idea of it. It was, sometimes I would like have a bunch that had piled up, and you have to like wait for the animation to play out. It's like, oh my god, can I just skip forward and get all these redeemed, or like a redeem all button or something like that? That would be nice.
Yeah.
It doesn't give great rewards. That's
true.
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does not.
I wish it would tell you what the reward's going to be, because sometimes it's just like, well, you got this hat. It's like, cool. I didn't really want that, but thanks. But then sometimes it would be, I would break my first rock in a cave, and it would be like, hey, now you can hammer better, or or you're
you can water
your magnetism
faster.
Like extends further,
or
water faster. Yeah, those were nice.
Yeah, those were like.
But you never knew what to go for to like target getting the useful stuff, right?
Especially since some of them would give you essence, which was nice. But then others were like hats and wallpaper. You're like, what? But why?
Or just like one wallpaper for like catching 50 fish. No.
Gee, thanks.
Thank you so much. Yeah, anything else on controls and interface at all that really... I just feel like there's room for improvement based on my experience, but...
The little, like, not cyclones, but like wind tunnels that can, like, carry you far to like a platform you wouldn't be able to jump to.
Mm-hmm.
It took me some time to figure out how those work, because I tried to like jump from a high place and like ride it across as I fell down into it, and that does not work. You have to like jump next to it in order to be able to ride it.
You're talking about the ones that were in the dungeons?
No, they like...
Yes, they're the same.
Maybe they're in the dungeons as well, but I can't remember. But they were also on like the seed islands.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, that frustrated me. Also, sometimes I would just want to fall down somewhere, and then my character would break out their umbrella. And sometimes I'd want to use my umbrella, and they would just be like, nope, I'm just gonna fall down.
Yeah.
Like, it's automated, and it doesn't do what I want it to do. There's no way to like manually do it, and I wish there was.
That seems to be a theme of this game with our experience so far. That it's not doing the thing that you want it to do, even though you are, next. You feel like it should be. You have lined up everything for it to control or react in that way, and it's not.
Yeah.
Mox, let's move on to performance, and let's talk about you first, because you played on Switch and you already kind of filled us in on load times. I mean, it sounds like they were pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it still looked pretty good. Frame rate was okay.
Yeah. It was fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think as I played the game more, when it auto saved, which as Austin said was rarely, but I noticed because it froze my game every time, and it got worse and worse and worse as the longer I played. Like it was, and I didn't know, I had to buy this game digitally. I didn't know if I don't know if I had the cartridge. I think it's a cartridge game. Would it be better? I did not. There's no way to fix it. I couldn't figure it out. I
bet the save file is getting bigger as you progress more, and it's like pulling in more stuff that you've done to write to the file.
Like if it had asked me, if you do this action, then your autosaves will be normal, I would have done it. Like I don't feel like it was punishing me for playing the game. I don't know. It just wasn't anything to write home about, and I really hated the load times. And without a dedicated map, it was just I was just disincentivized to explore because if I didn't know where I was going, and it wasn't worth trying to figure out.
That's fair. I played only on Steam Deck. This was like my first game that I played only on my Steam Deck, and it was good. It ran well for the most part. It was really pretty, etc. Like everything was fine. The only issue I had was the game crashed twice, and I didn't save right before, so I had to redo some stuff, and I was very salty. Did you have a lot of crashes, Austin, besides the one?
I had the one that was very notable, and I think that was the only one that I had.
Did you play
played for the...
Go ahead. Sorry.
So I played for the first hour or so on my desktop
to
record footage, as well as my wife wanted to see what the game was like, because she likes farming games and stuff like that. And just looking on from the outside, the marketers did their very, very easy job, and I was like, this seems like a game you would like.
Then you play it.
Yeah, then you play it. And then she saw it. But it performed very well. The only issue I had on Steam Deck, because all my time with it after that was on Steam Deck, the only issue I had was I had not capped my frame rate, because I won't get into why, but my Steam Deck got super hot, and I was talking to Tyler about it, and he wasn't having the issue, and I realized it was because the frame rate was not capped, and so after I fixed that, it was all hunky dory.
Nice. Let's talk a little bit about the story that exists. I'll put on the spoilers tag, I guess. I'm losing it over here. Oh god.
If you're not that worried about spoilers, we're not going to encourage you to look away or
there's nothing to spoil.
Tune out. Yeah, there's not.
So starting out, you play as the last Everheart alchemist. This tree has been destroyed by this disease. I don't know if it's a disease, but
no, you've used too many resources. It's a metaphor for global warming.
Climate change. The Withering is what it's called. And if we don't start recycling more, the Withering's going to come for Earth too. Anyway, you're guided by two friends, Book and a cauldron.
Copperpot, isn't his name?
Is his name Copperpot? Is he named after the penguin?
He's a copper pot.
I guess that makes sense.
The penguin is
maybe he's just Pot.
Is that true? It's not Copperpot?
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, he's Cobblepot.
Oh no. Just lost so much respect for all the Batman fans. But you start by planting seeds on the Evertree, and the goal is to get these song pieces that we talked about before. Once you get, and Mox told us that, Mox, go ahead. Do you want to explain song pieces and
they're fragments?
The song fragments. I apologize.
They are part. So, well, you're in the Evertree. People lived here before.
They did.
They lived in harmony with the Evertree and nature. Then came alchemists who used Mayora, which is like
the currency of the game.
It's also the spirit energy
that you spend.
I know, but it's also like money, which is not great. And then the alchemists started using more and more Mayora and taking from the Evertree. And then the song, which is like the spirit of the Evertree, became more broken and people stopped singing it as much. I don't know if they were literally singing it. I don't think they were.
You can sing in the game, your character.
Yes. Which it doesn't matter what voice you choose, it always sings in the same way.
Oh, what? Is that true?
Yeah.
Was there
disappointing?
Is there any way you could tell like what stuff you like? Some stuff after you'd water it, it'd be like, okay, now you can sing, and some stuff it was just like, nope, you're
it's
done.
Waiting. You have to be patient. I don't know what the point of that was. But as more alchemists used more of the Mayora and stopped singing, the Evertree was consumed by the withering, and the song was like went mute, I guess. And so you collect fragments of the song in these various places that I don't understand why they're there, and it isn't explained. But you go through little puzzles to collect fragments. There are 8 of them?
Yep.
Or 7?
7
8.
with
7.
You.
No, don't say it. It's
no, you said.
So there are 7 of them. And then
7 to collect.
When you put the final one in there, the Evertree is like, there's one more fragment. It's you. You're the missing fragment. And then you have to sing one more time to like bring the song back together.
It was you the whole time.
It wasn't that kind of you the whole time ending. It was
That's
just
true.
oh, hey, yeah, you got all those 7? Great. There's one more.
And
But you don't have to go anywhere for it. It's right there. I thought it was 8. I'm trying to.
So I know there's 7 districts total. There's the meadow, the plains, the forest, the island, river,
but there was
valley,
one that you start with.
mountainside.
This is just making me want to watch the Christmas Tree of Might.
What?
It's no, I'm not. It's a fan dub of a Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
It's just really. It's got that kind of really stupid thing in it, but it's self-aware about it.
Oh, nice.
There are 8, and you are the 9th one.
Oh.
You have to collect 8. Ugh. Barf.
I'm glad
Well, you get the first one is just given to you when you go to the wherever, but
True.
then the other 7 have vaults that they're in.
Which we didn't really touch on the natives, but there's some natives that are here. The Everkin. They've been here forever. They're old.
Cute as hell.
They are
They're
cute.
tiny.
They're super
fluffy.
cute. All right. No more spoilers. It's time to talk about our takes.
Wait.
Oh. Go ahead.
A little bit of spoilers with your like flying companion. He's got kind of, he or she has their own story.
They're the best.
Which is
going
dumb.
on. Whoa.
No, it was dumb. I was really.
Listen, just love, romance, children.
I was like hoping it'd be an upgrade. There's no upgrade.
Does anything happen with the children? Because I stopped.
No.
Pretty much like right after.
No, you could just
Nothing
take pictures
happens
with
that?
them. That's it.
Oh my god.
New selfie poses.
That's awful.
Yeah. You can walk up to them and take a selfie with them. That's it. That's all that happens.
This game loves selfies.
You feed or you cuddle your flying companion who doesn't have a name. You give him a name.
Nibbles.
I named mine Pepper. And once you've fed and or cuddled with it about 300 times, then it like has eggs with another flying thing that's in the area. And then the eggs hatch and then there's a zillion tiny flying things. But they don't do anything. I was like, oh my gosh, great. Now I have a miniature one to take with me. It's fast travel. It's mount as well.
No.
What a great,
Or even
no.
just like a little pet that like goes around with you. That would be kind of cool.
That would be
Nothing.
cool.
For a game that like seems to be obsessed with cosmetic stuff.
Yeah, for
And
real.
pets. You can give pets to the NPCs. You can't have one though.
Yeah.
Barf.
All right, Austin, give us your take, sir. Your personal opinion of Grow Song of the Evertree.
So, I like aspects of this game, but it's got problems. It's like calming. It's got a very calming atmosphere. It's pretty to look at, and when I go to the world seeds, like it feels calming to just go tackle all the stuff that's shown up there for the day, break the rocks and chop down or bust up the obstacles and clean up the animals that have been infected and things like that. And it's nice coming back the next day and just like, oh, something new grew here, and what's that? I didn't care for the town aspect at all. I got no pleasure from building that out. The people were kind of rude.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to make them happy. The quest rewards were pretty bad. And then you would start to run into, you need this essence. And it was like, okay, well, I need that essence. Where do I get it? I can't get it from the current world that I have, so I need to make a new world. I don't want to waste time making a bunch of random worlds while I quest towards making the perfect seeds that I need. And so it was just like, that was painful, and I did not like that aspect. The dungeons were there. They were kind of an interesting side thing to the rest of the game, but it was like everything felt very disjointed, and then they were forced to be connected in some way. And so I applaud them for finding a way to connect all these odd systems together.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not enjoy. I got no enjoyment from being forced to interact with all of them together. And for the towns, I very quickly stopped caring what anything looked like, and it was just like, whatever I can do to boost the happiness meter and move on to the next one, right? So I stopped after getting 4 song fragments, and the 4th one was an annoying one to get, not because the dungeon was hard or anything like that. It was just like the exploration to get there was a bit obtuse and not like a fun or interesting way. And a lot of the there's lots of spots where it looks like you can walk, and it's just like, no, no, you can't. I did get, I think I actually did get soft locked onto a rock that I wasn't supposed to be able to reach at some point, and I think I did have to reset that day. Now that we're bringing up, I know we brought up crashes earlier, but
yeah,
I liked petting the animals,
and
that was like I realized that I was wasting too much time with that, trying to build up my relationship with the animals, because you have a time limit every day that, like you said, is kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Because there's no real reason to there being days. You know what I mean?
Because nothing is growing, really. Like you don't
like
plant a seed
that you have a time limit on.
Yeah. Like you're not planting turnips. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you can do your stuff for the day. You can do whatever you want for the day and sleep. You could sleep, like, 5 times in a row and do nothing, and it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nothing... There's no punishment for, like, missing something for a few days.
They have... The only thing I can think of is they have events. That's it.
They have events, but then you could just, like, sleep until you get to the next event
also,
again.
Every event...
And, like, they keep popping up.
Sorry. I just want to say every event is, like, pointless, because it's just like,
I think you say every as if there's more than like 3.
No, there's like 8 or 10, but they're all but they're all just like, gather this, do this. This is the berry event. Collect berries from your tree.
And it's hard to
You're already doing that.
To prep for the event.
Yeah.
Because like I had one where it was like, oh, plant seeds. And it was like, okay, well, my current world, I don't have that many spots to plant in, so like I guess I'll just go sit in a corner.
Yep.
And you don't really get a whole lot out of the events anyways. Like, give you some like the batteries and keys and stuff like that you can redeem. But you can also just get those with Mayora from your world seeds when like the merchant goes and visits there. Also, stock up on those as soon as you can, because it feels really awful to go through like a new cave or something like that and find a chest and be like, oh, I can't open this because I didn't buy the key. Crap.
Yeah, it feels bad.
It feels really bad. Yeah, I don't know what this game wants to be, and I reached halfway through, and everything just kept being the same but taking longer, and so I decided I was done at that point, because a main mechanic of that loop is something that I just did not really want to engage with at all. So I would give this a 6 out of 10. It had some mild technical issues. It had a really great atmosphere and very pretty to look at.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some fun to be had there. It's just the mishmash of it all didn't really work very well together for me.
I concur with you, Austin. In fact, I give it the same score, 6 out of 10 as well. I think this game has an identity crisis. That's what it feels like for me. I think there's a lot of systems that are kind of mushed together, and they are connected in some way, but they don't, none of them really stick out as, none of them are awesome. They're all just kind of there. That's how I felt. I read a bunch of reviews about this game whenever I was prepping the notes and stuff yesterday. And one of a lot of people said oh, it's just really relaxing and really pretty and calming. And I can definitely see that. And I could see how some people would just really enjoy that and just, kind of having this, I don't know, chill time with this game. But for me, there's just a lot of just little things that bother me. This Evertree area that you go to in the beginning of the game, they use a currency there that's not the currency that you use for the rest of the game. It's only that area. And so you have to sell things in that area to get this currency. There is no indicator on the map at all who to sell to. Did you guys know that? None.
What map?
What map? I had a very hard time navigating that area
exactly
because there was no map.
And it all looks very similar. So one time it took me 5 minutes just to find the exit of that area, and I was going around on every hill. Also, you can't sell to one person. You have to sell the bugs to the bug person, the fish to the fish person, the minerals to the minerals person. It was awful. It was terrible. It was a really bad experience. There's just a lot of weird things in here with the quests that you do for the NPCs. There's no value really from them. They're oh, so-and-so has a request. And then you do it, and it's what hat should I wear? And then you give them a hat, and they're thanks. That's it. There's no story or anything. There's no, oh man, now I've really learned a lot about this character, or oh, now I know some stuff about the world. None of that. The save states, the auto-saving was kind of not great, and it had some performance issues and things. The NPCs do the 2 fingers touching thing when they're trying to be cute or whatever. That bothered me for some reason. I don't know. I should say that I usually love games like this. I've played a lot of Harvest Moon, almost every version of Harvest Moon. I played the newest Story of... I took a little break on Story of Seasons, but I played the newest one, Pioneers from Olive Town or something like that. That I thought that game was really good. It had some issues, but I really liked what I played of it. I played the Doraemon Story of Seasons game. I play Rune Factory. I and Stardew Valley, of course. And I usually love games like this, but I don't know. This game it just felt like they just tried to put a bunch of stuff in one, and there was enough inconveniences that to me it just wasn't that good of an experience. I also didn't finish. Let's see, I'm almost at the 4th song fragment. And I don't know. I just didn't have a great time. But I would say that for me, it's a 6. I can see that it's got stuff there for someone, but it's not for me. And I would give it a 6 as well. Mox?
I wanted to like this game, but maybe if I liked sitting at my computer and playing a game, it would be better that way. But playing with my Switch, it just continuously punished me the more I played the game with the auto saves and then how long it took to load some things. And as you accumulated more things to do during the day, which I liked doing all the things. I liked cleaning up. I liked, decorating towns and all these things. Well, it's just like the days became so short. I don't understand why. And you can't do anything at night. All you could do is sleep. It's like, please make the day as long as I would like it to be. And then I'll decide when I want to go to bed or make it real time or something. I don't know. It just, I had like 3 seeds to mess with, and I wanted to get them all done, but you can't. You can only get like 1.5 maybe. And the game is so punishing. If you stay in the tree beyond like nightfall, it just teleports you back, regardless of what you're in the middle of doing. And then if you're wandering around the villages past like midnight, it just teleports you back. It's like, let me play the game how I want to play it. Anyway, I guess other than like that and the lag of autosaves and the crashes, it was okay. I liked the tiny tower. Every person had different, specialties and stuff. But once you get the like the temple and the baths, and they sell these items that really let you like boost people's stats, it becomes trivial. Doesn't matter.
You're talking about like the stats that the people have, right? And how they fit better in certain
and what their favorite
businesses and stuff. Yeah.
Once you have like the higher level buildings that sell items that alter those stats, and you have enough Mayora coming in from all of your little villages that generate it, it just becomes trivial. And you just like, I just give them like, hey, take this thing, take this thing, take this thing. All right, one more thing. Okay, you're not doing that job you like anymore because I'm telling you what job you're going to do, and it's right over there. And I don't know.
You're going to the library.
I know. And there was, I don't know, maybe like 15 building types, and but what, 7 or 8 like places to put tons of buildings. Each place is so similar. You end up building 7 diners, 5 libraries, 3 baths, 2 temples, just because of how the resources work out. It's boring. I can arrange, the places in the, the buildings differently and put different paths and stuff. But it was just so samey towards the end. And not that you can finish this game, just collect the last fragment. I didn't even feel like decorating the last town. And like with the stupid autosaves, I was like, oh, it's painful to play this game. And then I was just like, okay, I'm just going to go up and do, tree stuff. But you can only do that for half of the day. It's like, it's like, I just want to play this game. Why won't you let me? Anyway, I'll give it like, I'll probably give it the same as you guys, like a 6. Just because it made it difficult for me to enjoy this game.
Yeah. I think it has a lot of systems. I feel like it could be improved upon. Like it has like a cool idea there, like at the base of it. I think there's just a lot of like minor inconveniences, a lot of them that make it not as enjoyable as it could have been.
And everything is done generally. They don't do one thing very well. Like Rune Factory, combat's kind of but I really enjoy the farming, and the farming
and the
is
relationships are cool.
Yeah,
like super cool in that game.
You accidentally 100, like I don't know, probably like 75% of people that play this game accidentally choose a relationship partner because it is not stated.
Yeah, it sounds like it's very accidental.
Any last words?
I still think this game is like worth playing, maybe for $10. That's probably it though.
I think it's, if someone wants a very like chill, they love management sim game, like Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley, etc. stuff, and they want something that's this like just more chill for some reason. I could see it being enjoyable, but besides that, yeah.
I would say if you don't already like farming games, then this is probably not the one to convert you.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
No,
and
play
if
Rune
you
Factory.
if you already like farming games, then you still might not like this one.
There's a lot.
I guess you can try it.
We've been pretty blessed. Like, there's a lot of really good farming sim management style stuff out there now.
Yeah, if you just have like nothing, if you've played them all and you have nothing else to play, then sure, check this one out. But like with so many other good ones out there, just I would say spend your money elsewhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a little dive in our take on Grow, Song of the Evertree. If you enjoyed hearing us discuss this game and want to join us for the next one, stay put, because our next vote just ended, and it was between Life is Strange, Before Your Eyes, and Forward to the Sky. And let me just triple check here. Thank you, everyone who voted. The winner is Life is Strange.
Yay!
There's a remaster that's, I was talking with Austin about, it comes off a bit, it's like $40 for Life is Strange, and then like Life is Strange, what's it called? Before the Storm. I might get that just to try it. But Austin, you're going to play the original, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm not spending $40 to rebuy 2 games I already have.
I don't know what's different. It was a great game.
They upgraded the visuals and they redid the motion capture, or they redid the animations with motion capture. And then apparently they like
it has some minor gameplay,
touched up some of the puzzles.
Yeah.
So I'll just play the original. That's fine with me.
Well, we'll have I'll play the other one and we'll see how it's different. Maybe I'll have a terrible experience. Yeah. Who knows? But it's going to be Life is Strange. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Again, just as a reminder, you can catch us here on twitch.tv/BombchuTV every 2 weeks, 2 Eastern. The next stream will be August 28th. And if you can't make the live session, don't worry. I know time is moving. You can find it on YouTube and all major podcast services. Austin, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And Mox, thank you for joining us. I know you've been super busy lately.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. I'm Tyler. This was Video Game Club episode 53, Grow, Song of the Evertree, and we're out.